Hey there, y'all. This is Jack, and today we are discussing Kagurabachi, Chapter 22, Deadlock. Yes, yeah, they actually, uh, Takeru, the author of the mangaka, definitely gives a good reason why the Kamunabi can't just go in on the tribe. Again, I'm so sorry, Japan, Zenuchi tribe, essentially. So, yeah, so a pretty actually good chapter, I gotta say, especially with our new character that's going to be tagging along with us, Hakuri. Again, I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names. I'm not that good with Japanese names, but yeah, let's just dive right into the review, shall we? Because again, very interesting chapter and very good justification why the Kamubai can't just go in and just barge in on this gang, on this mafia like boss, more like yakuza, I should say, and just thrash them. Well, they kind of can and can't at the same time. We get again justification, but let's go in as we cut to Hakuri just again crying. It's not his fault. He got hit in the face by Hiyuki's flame bone attack point blank. And again, yeah, she held back, but he's still, it's obviously gonna hurt, right? And he's just there bawling as she was just watching. Man, she must be having a rough day as he started crying because everything Chihiro told him. Presumably, Chihiro told him the entire story about his father and what went down with Sojo and all that jazz. And then we get Shar. It's good to see Shar. She's neat. As she comes by, she says, "You're really back." And we get Hinao also there too. Looking after Shar, of course, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's a nice moment between them two. Not that much, but it's good to see. And she does say she has a lot of time because, well, the cafe she was working at is destroyed, so she's waiting for it to be rebuilt. Then we also get Shar talking to Cheeto saying, "Cheeto, I'm getting better at healing. Let me see your arm. Let me try to fix it for you." Okay, two things I want to talk about. All right, Shar says she's getting better at healing. Okay, when I first read it, I didn't really pay that much mind to it, but later on, I want to say like probably like an hour later in the day, I was thinking about this chapter, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, Shar is practicing healing. What is she practicing on? I know this seems like a little tangent, but hear me out here. She says she's trying to heal. She's practicing healing. I mean, that makes sense. If you have a ability to heal people, you want to do it better, right? But once you heal someone, you got to kind of wait for them to kind of get hurt again, right? To be able to heal them. But she says she's getting better at healing, and like you could probably go a darker route with this, where she's when I say hurting herself, she's probably like like kicking her like again it could go a dark route where she's like I don't want to say so much as like like really hurting herself. I'm more like she probably just goes and kicks a brick or a rock, hurts her foot, and then she heals it again. Like that's the only thing that I could think of that she could get some practice in, which I know I with a child like Shar, yeah, she's not gonna grow up like any normal child. She saw death and destruction and people getting massacred in front of her, so she's gonna be very desensitized to that. And I can imagine herself like just hurting her foot by kicking like really heavy stuff to hurt it, to be able to try to heal it, to get better and better at it, to help Cheeto, the man that saved her. I could see that happening, and with Shar, I could kind of see that happening with her. So this story could get even darker with Shar if it does go down that path. And also the other thing I am not liking is she says, "Let me fix your arm." I'm hoping that Shiro doesn't ever get his arm back, just to show the consequences of going up against someone that's able to use the sacred swords, and that's just the consequences of having like you got your arm chopped off and there's no getting back. No matter how good Shar's ability is, and Shar's ability with healing, I always assumed when it was healing, it healed like fresh wounds. Like if you already had like a missing limb and she tries healing you, like you wouldn't just grow the limb back. That's always I thought it should be, and I think that'd be a good limit to it, to be honest. But we'll see in the future, right? Maybe that's a tangent that's not going to really bear any fruit, and I kind of hope it doesn't because I don't want Cheeto to get his arm back. I just want consequences. And Cheeto says, "Oh yeah, thanks, but before you do that, can you go fix Hakari's face?" And Cheeto's like, "Who's that? He's a mess. Who is he?" And Shiba just says that, like, Chihiro, is it cool to tell this guy about everything that's going on? And Cheeto's like, yeah, he's not really a bad guy. He took a flame bone hit for me head on, so it's cool. And she was like, oh, okay, he's a good guy. And Char's like, yeah, I'll go heal him. And as she's going, Shiba says, I'm glad you're okay. Thank you, Hakuri. You are such a mess. And okay, we get Hanao's reaction in the background, and then we get another panel which just is loading. Um, I'm assuming this is just there's just some new guy hanging out with them, and she's just confused about that. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's my thoughts on it. And then Hakuri, he's back to I won't say 100%, but he's back to normal. His face is not bruised up like crazy, as he says to Zunushi. Store essentially they're storing the sacred blade in a storehouse, and but he unfortunately doesn't know where the storehouse is. He's been a guard of the storehouse, but he doesn't know where it is. And I think we do get a hint of what he's talking about because, as he says, that only one person really knows the location of it, and it's the head of the I am I'm so sorry. His name is Koyora. Koyora. I don't know why I forgot. I'm sorry. I just forgot his organization's name, but I remembered his name. Even though I think we just got it this chapter. Yeah, essentially he's saying, yeah, Kiora is the only one that could really that knows the location of where the storehouse is. And then we cut to good old Hikiru and her sumo friend. As she's saying her head hurts. You're like, come on, man, you kind of brought it upon yourself. You're just you and your whole pride thing. You took that, yeah. You shouldn't really complain. She's like, oh, come on. And then they both say there's their name in front of a shrine as they just disappear. And I think that's how Hakuri and Kuira have been using the storehouses. Essentially, they get teleported to a specific area and probably teleported back out, or probably teleport to another safe area to get out of there. But yeah, I think that's how they're doing it. And I think that's the what we're supposed to assume, which actually, pretty good. I gotta admit, for the mangaka, just giving us, the bare information that we could figure this stuff out. And they go somewhere below Tokyo. So yeah, I originally thought this was like a secret passageway where it just took them underground, but no, it seems like they're teleported to an elevator and then they're sent down. But I think we'll see more on that later on. As we're at that Kamunabi Tokyo headquarters. And we're with this gentleman here that I don't know his name. I don't think he's been revealed yet. I reread the chapter and I looked up in the wiki. I didn't see him. They said his name. My apologies. But yeah, this gentleman here. But yeah, he essentially says, well, it's unusual for you to come in uninvited. What have you? What happened to your assignment, Hiruki?" And she essentially says, "Yeah, they came into contact with Chihiro and lost him, and another member arrives next to Sumo. He's like, yeah, but you let them slip away with your powers." And the Sumo was like, "Yeah, well, there was a bit of an interference. I mean, good on them, but still, they're still pros, you know. So it's kind of a bit shameful for both of them." As even Hayuki even says, "Yeah, that this is disrespectful," but she gets it, but they gotta keep going. And she's also saying, time to raid the Rakuzuchi clan, essentially the auction. And the gentleman with the beard is like, yeah, we're not gonna be doing that. And she's like, wait, why? Why not? Like, that's crazy. Why wouldn't we do that? And he says, well, and he explains essentially, well, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna bid on it. The reason is because, well, as the other member speaks up, there's two reasons. Because again, Hayuku wants to just goes in guns and blazing and just take out the enemy, which makes sense. That's honestly what most of us thought would happen. But no, the heads are like, no, we're gonna go in and just bid on the sword and get it ourselves. And the reason is because the Kamunabi are obviously pretty strong, right? But the Rakuzuchi are pretty dang strong too, and they're actually pretty closer than the Kamunabi would probably want to admit that they are when it comes to terms of of power. And in doing so, if they both win at each other, the Kamunabi are more than likely gonna take sufficient casualties. And obviously, you wouldn't want to do that, right? And as the Kamunabi even do say here that Rekuzichi, they have people trained since they were children and are more willing to sacrifice their lives for this for their organization. And if you have people like that, you're gonna fight that are willing to risk it all just to even try to hurt you. Yeah, that's pretty dangerous. And also, they also bring up that the Kamunabi do have the owner of the sword that they're the Rakukai are selling, and so the Rakukai have the sword, the Kamunabi have the master. As long as they have him, the Rakugai can't use the Rakukai. I'm so sorry, Rakuzichi. I'm so sorry. They have the sword, so yeah, they could just get the sword, and they have the owner, and they have both essentially. But if there is a way to go in with no with zero casualties and get the sword and just go, that obviously be welcome. But right now, the heads of the Kanubai are essentially just struggling. Should we continue to try to bid on it, or are we going to go and fight? And I think, excuse me, I thought my prediction. I think they're going to go in for the just to buy it. But if stuff do happen, they probably will. If all fails, they are going to have to fight, and I think that might happen. But we'll see, right? As we cut to good old Hiroa on his phone in his classy vehicle, just talking with most likely the sorcerer we saw that Cheeto's after, the one that killed Cheeto's father. As he's saying, we just finished the Rakuzachi run through, and yes, there is no problem. How are things on your end? Yes, I couldn't help but wonder. The Sacred Blade. You have the other four, right? And the other guy just says, as a Zuichi, you are just putting up for an auction to make money, are you? What are you plotting? And then the person on the other line, the sorcerer, I'm presumably thinking, says, I can't reveal that. But don't worry, we won't put the Ruzokuchi in peril. The only real concern is, as Koyora says, the seventh sword, right? Which obviously Chihiro has. So he's interested in that. And essentially they go at they talk about it a bit more as the sorcerer says, you seem concerned. Can you win? So essentially, yeah, if they come after you, are you confident that you're about to beat Chihiro? And good on Koyura just says, no, I don't think I can. I'm not that arrogant. And I think that plays in, I think that's gonna play into the next chapter. I legit do think so. As he says, but the Zunichi won't pass into the hands of dissidents. So they're not gonna be, helpless. They will take on the responsibility as we go back to Kuyoka's estate, the Zanumai, as his children come up to him. They're like, hey, dad, happy to see his dad. And he's like, all right, hey there, I'm gonna go back to my meditation. Bring me my tea precisely in 10 minutes. Remember that for the next chapter, all right? As he goes to his room, and right there, she was just there, right at his desk, just sitting there. As he says, the entire grounds of the estate are protected by force field. Only members of Zanubai clan can detect it, let alone step foot inside. Shiba just says, you're incredibly calm, and we get Cheeto approaching from the other side as Koyara says, perhaps I know when to give up. As Cheeto just sits down with the sword. Interesting, I just want to point this out. Interesting, he has his sword, like he's holding his sword like that, with the blade touching the ground. Like, I know, like, that's a big no-no to let your blade touch the ground, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's just holding it above the ground, which it's possible. I'm not gonna take anything away, but it's just odd to see it like that. But maybe he's holding it like that, ready to strike. It's possible. As Koira says, given my line of work, I'm adapted at appraising quality. As he looks at Chihito's sword, what a surprise! I was just speaking about that sacred blade. As Chihiro just says, quiet. You'll answer questions, nothing else. Where's the Sunichi? As we see bubbles just going around him. As Koira just looks and just says, if I tell you, will you leave? As we get a bone mask similar to, I'm not gonna lie, looks not, it doesn't look like, but it's similar to Ichigo's, hollow mask appears on his face. As we get that and end of chapter. Oh boy, okay. Koira, he says he's not confident to take on the sacred blades, but he won't just hand it down to dissidents. So, what's his plan here? I think he'll get himself ready for battle, but I don't think it'll come down to that. I actually don't know. And oh man, this is a hard one. What do y'all think is gonna happen here? Because I don't know if there's gonna be a fight. There might be. We might actually get Shiba. We might actually get to see Shiba throw down, which would be very cool. But it would be very good on Kagura to not throw down a fight. So what I'm thinking is, man, this is a tough one. If I had to guess, I don't think again it's in best interest to not fight. It really is. So he might just have to. When he said the 10 minutes, that might be code for something for the maid to get help or something, or there is a limited time that Cheeto and Shiba have till the reinforcements are alerted. So maybe that's it. And Koira just gave himself 10 minutes to just talk, and then hopefully that they don't kill him. But I'm not gonna lie, we don't know how powerful Kiora is, but presumably very powerful. But could he take on Cheeto and Shiba? I don't think so. But yeah, I am stumped. I don't see him just giving away the sword's position and then them just going scot free. But I don't know. Maybe that is a possibility. And then Cheeto and Shiba going to their next location. They're like, yeah, they're probably alerted, but we just gotta go get the sacred blade. This is crazy, man. Jeez, I'm just thinking about it, and man, I'm stumped. I've been thinking about it since I read the chapter. I got to give it to Takeru. Yeah, you write a very interesting story here, my friend. But anyway, that concludes my review. This chapter gets a solid 8 out of 10. I really really liked it, and maybe that the whole thing I said earlier with Char and the whole heal thing, maybe that won't nothing will come out of that. But if something does, I called it. Anyway, you guys take care and have a good one.